Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Please help me welcome my lovely sisters. We have Aley from Heart and Soul Connected. We've got Shari from Voices in the Swamp. And then, no, the other way, we have Val from Dragonfly Crystals and Next Level Channeling. And welcome everyone to Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. Hello, ladies. How is everyone? How you doing, Aley?
Doing okay. Thanks, Marina. Thanks. Yeah.
Good.
Hot.
Yes. Yeah, it is hot. I was thinking about this earlier today. When we had all that rain, it's like, oh, is it ever going to stop raining? I'm tired of the rain. It's too cold. It's this, it's that. Now it's, the heat. Oh, we need a little rain to cool things down. It's like
there's never we get some cooler temps in here, and then it cools off, and it's like it's freezing. Why can't it work?
Yes,
exactly. Yes. We in the Henderson, Las Vegas area, we only have two temperatures: hot and cold.
Yes.
There's no in between.
Yes.
Yeah, we have like a week and a half of winter. Although this past winter kind of made up for that with a foot of snow, and usually we have a sprinkling of fall, kind of a wink at winter, and then you jump into spring, and then by the time April rolls around, it's summertime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
It just gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yes, it does. It does. Yes. So quickly want to say hello to some of the folks who have joined us because, we have the best chatters. I know Gerald says his chatters are the best. And they are. They're just as good as our chatters are.
Absolutely.
And we have the best chatters. So hello to Edward Kenneth, Jackie B, Dawn Turner, Lois Tucker, Hibiscus Healing with Sarah, Maureen D'Amico, Artist Liz, Red Dragon. And I think that's all who's here for now. Oh, no. Sorry. Anita K. Acadian Proud. Hello, Charlie C. Sage. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to our little Wednesday discussion. And, it's always fun to have these get-togethers because I always walk away having learned something. And it's fabulous. I look forward to that. So Jana is lurking, or she says, and lurkers. Yes, lurk away.
And lurk.
Oh, Mary just clicked in. Mary Starshine.
Hello, Mary. And please, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I have the ladies' channels all in the description of the video. So after you subscribe to me, because you don't want to break an old lady's heart. Yeah.
Now, who are you talking about?
And then make sure that you do the same thing for the girls, because there are people up there who really want to hear what it is that we share. They just don't know where we are. We're not Beyonce. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
But
we're getting there.
Have you heard that her daughter is overtaking her as far as talent is concerned? Her daughter,
wow.
Blue Ivy or something. She dances. Everybody they want her autograph and yada yada. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Kids are so talented now. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
Well, with two parents who are very talented too, it's almost like a given. You can't help but turn out talented. It's when you get two duds for parents that aren't talented in any way, shape, or form, and this genius pops out. It's like, where did he come from, or where did she come from?
Yeah, exactly.
These genius kids are super talented and have all this artistry, are just popping out everywhere. It's like a
They
miracle.
are. And a lot of them are the indigo children.
Yeah.
They are coming in with more wisdom and knowledge than they ever did before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And compassion. There's a lot of them that are truly empaths, and they're
humanitarian kind of.
You name it. Yeah, they got it. Yeah. So that is fabulous.
In spades.
In spades. Yeah. So what have you got going on your channel, Aley?
Very quiet, so to speak, week. Tomorrow we'll be on one show with the mediums, Diana and Mark. And then Friday, I'm going to be on July 4th. You're going to be on it, and a few other people. We're just going to be throwing some cards and keeping people entertained that might be stuck at home and aren't out watching fireworks or whatever. Yeah. So low key. Yep. Low key.
Yeah. Exactly. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong. And how about you, Val?
I have, of course, tomorrow messages for light workers, but before that, I'm going on Akashic Adventures. So that's at 1:30 Pacific time. So tune in to see that. I think that's on Linda De Gonzalez's channel, but I'll have it posted by then, probably after today. And I have several readings on 4th of July. That's my contribution to the energy. But also on Monday, I'm going to be on Arthur's channel, and we're going to do another Q&A session. So join us on that at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And so, I'm looking forward to all of that.
Perfect. Perfect. And how about you, Shari?
Well, tomorrow night is Golden Girls, and I'm hosting. And then I have tomorrow off. I get to go spend it with the eye doctor and hopefully get the new lenses for my new glasses replaced and with the correct prescription and not the wrong prescription. And then Friday I got Angela Cardamancy Mesquite. She's going to come on and we're going to do a show together. Awesome. And then Friday night is polytorology. And then Saturday I'm got my date with Nate. It's our regular live stream. And Saturday night is the slumber party. And I have Selena, Essence of the Moon, who's going to be a guest with me on that channel. So nice. She's real sweet. She and Ramon and Bobby do a lot of shows together. That's how I met her and Bobby, and was through Ramon. And then he just got back from Puerto Rico, so he'll be on in a couple of weeks with me, if not before. So just taking it easy. Nothing.
Yeah, I think
nothing private readings mixed in there. So,
Exactly. And I think we all kind of tend to slow down in the summertime a little bit because, you want to be outdoors. You want to be enjoying the weather. You want to be, doing things. So, it's
playing with the kittens.
Playing with the kittens. Absolutely. I want to hear about them in a minute. So, yes, tomorrow I'll be on Val's channel for messages for light workers. And then I'll be on with Shari later on at 7 p.m. for Golden Girls Coffee Clutch. And then on Friday with Aley for the 4th of July. Whatever comes, and we'll absolutely enjoy it. Absolutely.
And happy belated Canada Day to you and all Canadians here.
Thank you. Thank you. It was lovely. I was already in bed and I could hear pop, 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 pop. And I thought, what is that noise? And then it dawned on me, there were fireworks downtown. There was fireworks several places that had fireworks. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. So I tried to look out the window, but I could have gone outside, but that meant throwing some clothes on and
forget about it.
I hear you.
Yeah, totally. So thank you to those of you who have just joined us. I think did I see? No. Oh, Purple Moon Tarot and Maureen.
Yeah.
Maureen Yamako. Good for you, girl.
Good
I got
girl.
good news and all my biopsy came back no thyroid. Perfect. Excellent.
Oh, wonderful girl.
Great. Good
Yeah.
news.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's got to be a big load off your mind. So yeah,
Absolutely.
just be positive. Just think positive.
Yep. Soak it in. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that okay. Before we get into, what we're going to discuss, Shari, I need a kitten update.
I don't have a recent picture. I'm waiting for Lewis to upload some of them so I can copy them. They're doing really good. They're already like double the size they were a week ago. I mean, they are growing like crazy. We've got the big one that we started out calling Bruiser, and we named him Bruno. And he's like twice the size of the other two, which are a light gray and a dark gray, and they like to sleep together, but they lay opposite each other. So Lewis named them Yin and Yang because that's what they look like. They look like the Yin and Yang sign, and so they are all doing wonderful. Minu is very protective of them, and so you go in there, you have to love on her first, and then you can mess with the kittens, and then she's right there in your face the whole time. Like, what are you doing? You better be careful.
Exactly.
So she's very protective, very loving, and she's figuring it out anyway for being a first time mama. So, but they are a joy to watch. I just go sitting there and watch them sleep, if nothing else. I mean, but they roll around and fight, and they do the hand slapping bit with each other, which cracks me up. So, but yeah, it's a joy. And
baby animals are they're just adorable.
Absolutely.
Those are my favorite videos to go to when I'm bored. The animal shorts.
Yeah. I've got a whole playlist just a private playlist of all the animal videos. Wherever ones pop up, I go save it. Yeah. And then when I need rejuvenation, I go spend a couple of hours on there.
You could easily
one video after another.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what is it that we're going to talk about today? And I want to first of all thank Aley for this this subject matter. She came up with it, and I gladly took it and said, "Okay, I'll run with that." So thank you, Aley.
Sure.
And the topic is finding peace in turbulent times. And we have to admit that it's as much as we anticipate kind of what's going on, there are moments that you kind of give in to the turbulence. So how do you deal with that? So
and you can even give into the turbulence even when you're not watching any of the stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think the energy is there, and that's what we're giving into is the energy, even if you don't watch anything. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. You can definitely feel it, or at least I know I can certainly feel it, and I have to keep checking with myself. Is this me, or is it coming from the outside?
Right.
And making sure that I've got the sage, I've got all the things that I need. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So let's do this in a little different order. Val, let's start with you. Put you in the hot seat.
I love the whole thing about personal it's energetic hygiene. You can call it that.
Yeah.
For whenever, I mean, every day now, you might look to do this for yourself. Clearing your energy field. There's so many different ways you can do that. You can look that up. but clearing your energy field, clearing everything you use and touch, like your cards or no matter what it is, your iPad, your iPhone, whatever, unhooking yourself by cutting all the cords to all those electronics and everything that you can find. Because when you see that you feel that you're going down one of those rabbit holes, even though you don't watch any of the stuff, you're still hooked into mass consciousness. You're still going to be feeling all those feelings from everywhere else. So your personal energy field maintenance is up to you, and get that practice going. Do it 3 or more times a day if you have to. Get up and sage your whole entire place. I don't care if you use Palo Santo spray, whatever it is, your intention, and calling in the angels, calling the highest vibration of light into each room to come and stay in the room with you for all time. Call it in and do that in every room. Clear it all out and start from there and maintain your energy field. In this higher vibration, these practices are like brushing your teeth. You really have to do it. Balancing, and when you feel out of sync, balance, especially those lower 3 chakras. There are 15-minute, 10-minute videos out there on YouTube that will run through your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root chakra, and you will feel like a new person. So,
yes.
So, besides that, besides those important things, the next thing you need to do for that you're taking care of the energetic body by doing that hygiene. Just creating that 5 to 10 minutes a day of sitting still, journaling, and connecting with spirit. That deep, light a candle, hold a crystal, place your hand on your heart and ask, what part of me needs love right now? Where can I surrender more deeply? These kind of things are you really appreciating yourself and loving yourself and asking yourself, what do you need to feel greater peace? And, notice, is the turbulence, just like Marina said, is it outside of you? Or is it an old emotion or fear arising to be released? It could be from different places. So don't resist a discomfort. Welcome it like a messenger. And it is not the enemy. And meet each moment with compassion for yourself. And especially not acting out on all of that. Just go within and figure it out. So it's there to show us something. It's always there to show us something. And it's better if it shows you something succinctly than you have to go find out in front of all of America, whatever you don't know. So I'm just saying, anchoring in the now, breathing in is a very beautiful way to be present and let go of the what ifs. If you're in the present moment, you can't go, well, what if this happens? Or what if that happens? Or what if, just breathing in that now stillness and call in the guides. You're doing all this. You have to do your part, but you can always call the guides in and they will surround you with tremendous love and give you peace, and you will feel it descend on you when you're still. You'll feel it. And, that in a nutshell is a quick down and dirty my recipe book that I better start following better.
Better, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. And how about you, Shari?
Well, I try to keep myself at limited amounts of news coming in, things that are gonna rile me up and make my blood pressure go up. I guess mostly what I try to do is I find comfort things to do. Watch a good movie, go get a book that I haven't read or hadn't read in a long time. Hang out with kittens. I got a new excuse now to just go lay down on the bed in the other bedroom and just lay there and not have to do anything. With the kittens. They just leave me alone. I don't know. I tend to take time to try to do some of my inner work on myself. A little bit of shadow work when I can, just to try to beat back some of my own demons so that I can grow and be a little stronger and a little better every day. And so when asked, I can be there for someone else, because things are really rough right now. So I think the biggest thing is trying not to get overwhelmed is kind of how I feel with it. It's like, and it's real easy. I mean, turn anything on and it's just blasting you in the face, everything that's happening. So it's making a concerted effort to not watch certain things. In fact, I noticed this morning there's a new UFO series that's getting ready to start on Paramount. I don't know what day it's going to start, but I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. So I'm kind of looking forward to that starting up so I can watch it. And yeah, I try to just remove myself from the pressure and the tension and and everything, so that I can recharge, regroup, get a little bit better handle on me before I try to deal with that.
With that, exactly. And how about you, Aley?
Well, there's a couple of things that came to mind, and I liked this, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Hold on. Of course, it goes away. There's a hard truth that if you wait to start feeling better, to start living, you might be waiting forever. Go live your life. Do it sad. Do it anxious. Do it uncertain, because healing doesn't always come before the experience. Sometimes the experience is what heals you.
Yeah.
So I think it's looking at things from a different frame of mind, or from a different lens. I say, and that brings me to mind of that there are always people that are going through a much tougher road than I am, and that there for the grace of God go I. That's helped me a lot to realize not to complain about something, or not to be peaceful about things. I also enjoy watching anything that's a period piece on TV, like The Gilded Age is the new show. It's been on for a couple of years, but I love watching anything like that. And I just love floating in my hot tub. It's like,
man,
that would be nice.
It's like I get this little seat and you put it in and I just float around. That's not very big in there, but I don't care. It just gets me outside and gets me.
But you have the weather to do it. If you were here, you would not want to get in the hot.
That's very true, Val. It would be like it's hotter out here than it is in the hot tub for you, I'm sure.
Man,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'd rather be in a hot tub full of ice water.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Here, you don't have to put heat in the hot tub.
Exactly. You don't even have to turn that on. Just
the pool's already 95. So
we've got 4 pools at our complex, and it's like I want to go jump in the pool so bad some weekends. And it's like it's going to be hotter in the water than it is out of the water.
You're taking a hot bath if you get in the pool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the as I wrote down what we're discussing, the 3 little things that I have on there is breathe, and breathe.
And
there you go.
I can't think of anything so immediate.
Yes. Yeah. Because it will, when you're concentrating on doing that deep breathing, you have to get into that now, that present moment, right?
Mhm.
So whatever is going on kind of around you, let it go for a few minutes. It's not going anywhere. It's still going to be there, right? But
Mhm.
for the moment, you concentrate on yourself and make sure that you're doing some deep breathing, cleansing your space, like Val said, making sure that you're not attached, even emotionally, to things that are going around. And do something that makes you feel joyful.
Right.
Whether and I was watching some of the comments, whether that's working in your garden, whether that is running barefoot in the grass, whatever it
Mhm.
is,
But
go ahead, do that.
what if it's peanut M&Ms that make you
A
joyful?
Hey, that makes you
small
happy.
bag. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
small bag.
Cashews and regular M&Ms for me. So
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
Whoppers. I like those too.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the things that I did the other day, I had to go get some groceries. That old fashioned term that we don't
Yeah.
know where.
yeah.
Yeah, I had to go pick up some groceries, and I noticed they had some Asiatic lilies, the white flowers. I
Yeah.
love those.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
So I bought me a couple bunches, and I have them in my bedroom, and I love looking at them every time I look at them or I
Yeah.
smell them. I think this is fabulous. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
And it reminds me to be happy.
Yeah.
Don't
Why
worry.
not?
Be happy.
That
Why
was
not?
worth it because those
Good.
things are very fragrant and
Yes.
beautiful. And it's not just the fragrance, they are just a reminder of the elegance of life.
Yes, exactly. Watching them go from, from kind of being very, very tight to just totally opening up. And those are things. I mean, you don't need to spend a whole lot of money to be good to yourself, to take
It's like
care of yourself.
pampering yourself. My gosh,
Yes.
your
A
eyes.
pedicure, a
Yeah.
manicure,
Yes.
haircut,
Yeah.
massage,
Farmer's market. How about
Yeah.
a farmer's market?
Farm,
Oh,
yes.
I love
farmer's market.
markets.
Yeah.
And you know what I gravitate to? Things people made like the banana nut bread
Oh,
or
Yes.
all those, the muffins.
Oh, I just downloaded a recipe off of YouTube on how to make crock pot bread.
Oh,
I thought, I might try to do that this weekend and see how that turns out.
that sounds
Yes.
fun. You'll have to report back and say,
Yeah, if it works, I'll let y'all know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those are all little things. It doesn't matter if someone else thinks that, that's ridiculous. You're not doing it to please them. You're doing it to please yourself. You're honoring yourself.
Yes.
You're giving yourself that care that you need. And whatever form that takes, if it works for you, it's for you.
You're doing for you what you tell other people to do for themselves.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So hello to some of you who have come in recently. Jay Roberts, Teacher Barbara. Did I miss somebody?
Viviani's here.
Hey, Viviani. And
Garnet's here.
Yeah,
Garnet is here. Diana is here.
Teacher
Nice.
Barbara, Viviani. Yeah.
Jay Roberts. Oh,
Elaine
perfect.
Tanner. Yeah. Nice
Yes.
to see you.
Excellent.
Carmen LSG. Carmen LSG. Welcome. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Linda.
So, excuse me, all of a sudden my throat kind of.
You're verklempt.
I'm a little verklempt. Yes, I am. So, aside from sort of the obvious that we do, think about when when you're hearing about news or what's happening around the world and so on, just remember that whenever people share information with you, there is always a motivation behind that. Sometimes, you hear something and you want to be the first one to share it with everyone, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
However, make sure that what you're sharing with others is factual, because there's all kinds of things going on out there that when you dig a little deeper, you realize that it's not true, that it's misinformation, that it's based on something that someone's uncle's cousin's grandmother's twin sister heard from blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure that you're sharing information that is valid. And then even when it comes to the legacy news,
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But
that was my opinion of legacy news.
Yes.
There is something I want to share that is troublesome to me. And that is that my stepdaughter lives in South Carolina, and her daughter is married to a man from Africa. And he's here on a visa. Mm-hmm. And she lives in South Carolina.
Oh, that's a tough one.
And we're trying to tell her, be careful, let your daughter know. And her daughter is in her late 30s. And I don't want to upset her. So there are things I believe that need to be talked about, and they may not be pleasant, but that people need to know.
What would you have her talk to a 30-year-old daughter about, though?
Would I have her talk to her 30-year-old? I would. She says she doesn't want to talk to her about him going out of the house and getting a job, and because he might get picked up by ICE.
Yeah,
so
because
he's not white. So that's
exactly.
It seems to be the only marker that ICE has anymore.
Right now.
If you're not white, you're game, so or if you tan real well, don't sit out in the sun and get a tan, because they might mistake you for being brown. I mean,
but they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to look at it because
it might upset her. How upset will she be if her husband is picked up?
So that's all. Reality has to set in a little bit.
Yes.
People do have to get the information, whether or not they either choose to worry about it or not. I just feel like, and it's more than one person I've talked to that is younger, my own kids as well. Oh, well, I don't want to read about that. That's too upsetting. Well, this is how things happen and people get taken away and stuff. So I really do believe we need peace, of course, and we need to protect ourselves. But I also think we need to talk about things and be prepared. Yeah. That's all. Just be prepared. It's not.
It's just like, it's hurricane season, and a lot of damage can be done. So you have a choice. You can prepare for in case a storm comes your way.
Correct.
Or you can say, oh, well, it probably won't come this way anyway. And then the next thing you know, you're treading water and your house is floating away.
Right.
Well,
and I've seen people with both outcomes,
No, so. I agree with both of you, except that it always brings me back to the place where are you interfering with someone's life, the way they're leading it, and how their divine plan path is going out for me. And if you don't feel propelled on a soul level, that you don't believe their guides and angels would put it in front of them in some way, shape, or form if they needed to know that. I mean, you got to trust their pathway, and you got to trust.
I would say you're right, but they live with her.
No, I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying in all circumstances, but I know. Yeah, I always end up bringing myself back to that.
That's okay.
You're the sovereign being in their own divine plan path.
Yeah,
would have.
Or have you been placed in their path to
you
be
would
the one
feel a
bringing the
soul
message.
urge to
Yeah, you'll know.
say it. You
Yes.
would know the difference between your mind telling you or your soul prompting you. You would feel the difference for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that
Absolutely.
wouldn't happen.
And it just gives the opportunity to at least talk about an action plan, or
Yeah, it does.
in case
Yeah.
something happens, okay, we know what to do. We're going to do ABC.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you have to talk about it every single day.
Yeah.
Right.
That you have to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Most people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan.
Yeah.
So have a plan in place, and
There's nothing wrong with
then
having
let it go. Then let it go.
Right.
Then,
And there used to be a really big emphasis for kids, for parents to have fire drills with their kids.
Yeah.
If the house catches on fire, what do you do? Where do you go? Where is our meeting place so that we know everyone got out of the house and is safe? And I mean, I don't know, maybe they still push that, maybe because my son's in his 40s and not a kid anymore. I just don't hear those messages. But I kind of think it's like hurricane season. You prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Kind of,
Well,
and
it's
so
the same thing with preparation for when we pass. Okay.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that ever. Oh no, you're fine. You're going to live forever. Well, sorry, but no, I'm not. And this is what I would like to have done. And I'd like to be able to talk to you about it if you wouldn't mind. And it's not happy talk, but it's productive. It is productive. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I think that has to be talked about. I mean, like, are you going to be cremated? Do you want to take up more of the ground? I mean,
right. And what
I've given very explicit instructions to my son of what to do when I die, and it's like, and if you don't follow it, I'm coming back after your ass, and I'm going to haunt you until the end of time. So don't screw up.
You're going to be gone.
Right, it is the last taboo. It really is. And
and it's because it's uncomfortable.
Of course.
It reminds everyone of their own mortality. That I talk about it all the time. I even wrote my obituary.
Yeah, because you know what? Yes. You don't really die. There's no death. So
right.
Yeah. I mean, I liken these kind of conversations with me doing shadow work and having to look at myself and talk to myself about things that are very uncomfortable, and I don't want to think about it, but sometimes things are happening around you, or things get put in your face, and it's like, okay, I need to have this discussion. And so it's a difficult thing, and you have to really rely upon your guides to let you know how far to go with something or when to back off on something. That it's a fine line you walk, especially when it's people close to us. Because we don't want to hurt them, but we don't want them to suddenly wake up tomorrow morning and their spouse has been snatched by the kidnappers in chief, and hauled off to who knows where. I mean, it's a frightening aspect, but it's a factual event that's occurring in our faces, and people need to be prepared for it. But it's like, once you have the discussion, then you got to just say, okay, well, now you know what to do. If you need me, here I am.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you let it go. And when you think about it, it's the same thing that we used to do with our kids when they were younger. And it's like, Mom, can I want to go out tonight. Sure, no problem. Who are you going with? Where are you going?
How long are you gonna? When are you gonna go?
What time are you coming home?
You have a time to come home, but
So I mean, I just did that over on Monday. As a matter of fact, Chris was off on Monday, and he decided to take Clarity, and they went for a little hike. out in Kananaskis. And I said, I need you to send me a text to let me know where you are.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Especially if you're going into wilderness.
Yes, exactly.
There's Bigfoot out there. He can snatch you.
Yes.
Oh, that's true, though. Don't laugh. That could happen. So
It could
exactly.
happen. Yeah. But my thing was, if for some reason I'm expecting him home by a certain time and he doesn't get there, worst case scenario, I have to be able to tell the police where was his last known location.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
So I didn't sit by the phone and text him every 5 minutes. Where are you now? Where are you now?
Yeah.
But so
just check in. Let me know you're okay. Let me know you're headed home.
Definitely when you live with somebody, or if somebody's going to do
something.
It's
just a common courtesy when you live.
It's like courtesy, and also if you go into wilderness areas, it is really mandatory that you advise either the park rangers before you go in, or you tell a family member, because you don't know,
things can happen. Right?
You could slip and break your leg. Anything can happen.
Exactly. Anything. And they were going to, there was 3 waterfall areas that they hit on their hike and so on. And they had a fabulous time.
And there are weird people that go hang out in the woods. So there are.
There are. And so that's another thing. You should take people with you, because there's some strange things.
Not just the boogie, not just the monsters.
No, it's not just that. There's some very strange people.
There are. And I'm very glad that he had the dog with him, because she would let him know.
And that's another thing that you have that relationship with. So we're talking about peace. How do we be peaceful? That's how you can remain peaceful. You don't have to worry.
A beautiful example.
Exactly.
Finding peace, walking with your man's best friend, going through the forest. That's pretty awesome.
It is.
Absolutely. So that there's whatever makes you feel better or calmer, go with that. With that. You don't need someone else's permission. You don't need to justify it to anyone. You know, some people.
Absolutely.
Peace of mind. Is just, I'm going to sit.
Can't be overstated.
No, it can't be. So, oh my gosh. Well, ladies, I don't know if there's.
I don't know what anybody has said. I haven't been able to hear anything for the last 5 minutes because all the dogs went off.
And also, it helps to remember that this is something that we are going through. Turbulent times. We always have turbulent times. It's just a matter of how turbulent they are. So be aware of what's going on, but don't live in fear. Don't spend your life thinking that you can't do whatever it is that you need to do. Otherwise, the fear wins.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So facing fear doesn't mean that you don't respect it. You do, but you move past it. Right. Like Mel, I think, has on his email or his saying, don't let fear get in front of you. Let it get behind you to push you through the whatever.
Exactly right.
Yep.
That's the tagline.
Instead of holding you back, it'll be the wind in your sails.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
And we will get through this. We will get to the other side, and we're going to be sitting back and discussing it and saying, well, okay, we made it. Whew. That was a hell of a ride. Whose idea was it to sign up for this? Right?
I know, and we all did. That's the stupid part.
We all did. I think. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find a lot of this exciting. in
It
terms
is exciting because there's change afoot.
of change.
Change that has never occurred on the earth plane before. Things that we will see that we have never experienced, witnessed, or seen before. When can you reach back in a period of time and had this kind of thing going on? This evolution of humanity's consciousness at the same time of the chaos happening. Yeah, go ahead.
It's been this constant chaos and change for what, like the last 100 years, which is a long time for us, but in the eyes of divine, that's a snap of time, you know. So it's like, okay, well, you signed up for this. What are you complaining about? It's not gonna take any time.
You're right, Shari, because the pressure cooker that we feel now is probably no more of a pressure cooker than they felt in Martin Luther King's time with the civil rights marches and the anticipation era and the anxiety, or during the Civil War. All of these things we weren't there for, so we can't speak to it. But I bet you it was the same kind of feeling.
Oh yeah, I mean, you had
what happened,
brother fighting brother during the Civil War. You know, the Revolutionary War. You had people that didn't want to
give up the British. They wanted to stay with the Brits.
They wanted to stay with the Brits. You know, let's not go there. And who's going to take care of us if things go bad? And
so, you know, an enemy might be next to somebody who's a patriot, you know, and you don't know, you know, you're all in one boat or the other, and you don't know who's your friend.
So, and add to that the fact that I think it's this month, July. Maybe even August. I'm sure those of you who know astrology will correct me. But the confluence of planets that are going to be in one place, this hasn't happened in over 3,000 years. So it's not like we have, you know, we can say, well, you know, well, you go back to 1728 and let's see what happened there.
This is the newest thing that could ever happen, right, Marina?
Exactly.
I think it's in July sometime. I want to say I'd have to go look it up and see again, but yeah. And we've got planets moving and changing positions that haven't moved in 80, 90, 100 years that are now switching their whatever it's called, and it's like
these are the signs that change is afoot, that will never it won't reset to the old system anymore after this.
So and we need to know what is broken so that we can fix it. You don't put a Band-Aid on it. That's what we've been doing for a very long time, is putting Band-Aid on
so
things.
Instead we brought it right out and said
that's right. Here's the wound.
Here are the body parts. Now this is what you're responsible for.
It's taking a look at that wound and saying, okay, this is going to hurt a little bit. But have to get in there, have to get rid of what doesn't serve, have to get rid of what doesn't work, start off with something that is fresh, and then you put a salve on it, and then you can heal it. You don't, you know, just little things. So I think that like I said, it's exciting to see what it is that we're creating.
Yes, it is exciting. I mean, really, and we get to be here and witnessing it. So I mean,
we get to be a part of history.
To live too far ahead, like I can't wait to see what all this turns out to be. But I just keep living in this one now moment. And trying to enjoy it without, you know, any kind of triggering stuff that can come up.
Well, with all of the bad things that happened, it's like, I know, like with me, I grew up in the Deep South in the middle of the civil rights movement. And it's a feeling of, God, I've already done this. Really? I have to do it again. But it's not only is it the same kind of really bad energy rolling through, but it's worse than it was before, or at least worse than what I was capable of understanding at that age.
And you know why it's worse? It feels worse to you because now it's out in the open. Now it's
Yeah.
treating
exactly.
each other, or one person treating another person like they're less than out in front of everyone.
Yes.
It's not hidden anymore with polite,
Exactly. And it's done with an attitude of, yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And so unless you want to devolve down into their level and meet it head on that way, but then you're not being true to you. I mean, it's real easy to get down in the mud and want to beat the crap out of them, but what is that going to accomplish in the long run besides busted knuckles and black eyes? I mean,
no, basically the real truth is if you just try and stay in that loving space where you're sending light to everyone, you're doing the most powerful thing you could do, because really you're not going to shift them by interrupting something like that.
Well, and it's like Jesus taught, if your enemy slaps you in the face, you turn your other cheek and let them slap you there as well, and
because you
don't
really
punch back. And so,
because if you do that, you're just perpetuating that to happen again to you.
Right.
It's bringing that same energy forward.
Although there are those few instances when throwing that punch feels really good.
I know. But, and that's the thing.
Then you feel guilty.
You hold the space of love. That space of love will be what is brought in front of you time and time again as your mirror. And so that's why light workers have a big job.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
And sometimes I think of us and you folks in the chat, because most of you wouldn't be here if you weren't light workers, right?
Yeah.
That our job as light workers is very similar to the job of the archangels and the angels, which is, we know something is afoot. But until you're able to say, talk to me, tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Our job isn't to come in and take over.
No.
Because then you lose the lesson. The lesson isn't for me. I've learned it. Right?
Exactly.
So it's for us.
You can't get down in the mud.
No.
You gotta stay up in the
Yes. So we
I mean, you could, but make sure you sell tickets for it, make a little money off of it.
Right.
Right.
Wear your bikini,
and do it with the mud with your bikini.
I like this comment, Garnet, because it shows you that while we don't want to help person, but we're real, we're human. Yeah,
we're human and we're real. And even when Jesus having a temper or whatever he felt in his real humanness, he had that Christed side, just like we all do. It isn't just something for Jesus. We all have that Christed side.
Exactly.
And
his anger was because they were insulting his father.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, basically, if you look at it, these people were insulting his father, and that's what set him off. It was like
in his father's house. Yeah.
Right.
So he reacted, which is what a lot of people are doing now when they go to the protests, when they're calling their Congress people and demanding answers and so on. That is
there is a boundary, a healthy boundary for you as a human being. And that healthy boundary is one thing that healthy ego that Shari talked about the last episode helps you do. And that is stand your ground in whatever is encroaching upon you. Like Jesus would say, whatever was said about his father, the line was drawn. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you have a responsibility to yourself to keep your spiritual and physical boundaries, and draw them in the sand. And nobody's going to do it for you. You have to decide and use your discernment.
Right.
So, exactly.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, we're at 54 minutes. I think it kind of feels like we're done.
I think we're done.
Just wanted to say, thank you to everyone who joined us this afternoon. Next week we'll be on Val's channel. Yes, because Val and Shari, right?
Oh, we switched.
We're switched because I'm going to be joining Colleen on Reveal the Future next week.
Okay.
Yes.
For the first 30 minutes. So I'll be just late coming in.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll be on Val's channel. And ladies, you know how much I enjoy this. It's always so much fun. And it's always, like I say, I always walk away learning something new, or something that is different, or a great another way to look at things. It's always an education. So
that it is.
Yeah.
That it is.
So
absolutely.
Thank you, folks. Don't forget, one last time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting very close to 7,900.
Very good.
Just there. And then 8,000 is just around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pushing 71. So
great.
Exactly. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you throughout the week. And thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
Marina.
Thank you, Marina.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.